Welcome to another episode, Spilling the Veal. We got your host, Terrence Jennings, and our co-host slash producer, Blake McCauley. And we got another great interview coming to you today from another Louisville legend. And I'm really excited to get into this one. So what you got, Blake?
None much. He's our third member from that 1997 Elite Eight team. He started his career as a walk-on, so it's kind of cool to get his journey through U of L. He was willing. He was a guy that was willing to sacrifice everything on the court, willing to take a charge, willing to die for that loose ball. Wasn't scared to talk a little smack if he needed to. But I think he's the first guy that we've had on our show that we can say is he was a first in, last out kind of guy. You know, he might not have been the most physically gifted guy, but he's very fundamentally sound, and he just played the game the right way. If you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, definitely was an exciting interview to get into from another legend. Thank you, BJ, for gracing us with your just with all your knowledge and everything that you told us, just as far as you're coming up and enjoying the game, going through the recruitment process and what those practices were like. And yeah, it was really great to get into all that. So
Yeah, it
sure.
was awesome catching up with another Hoosier right down the road from where I grew
Yes,
up.
sir.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and jump into this interview. Thank you to all our partners: Unrivaled, Mixed Nation, Best Way, Cardinal Sports Zone, and JB Creative. If you haven't yet, scan that QR code at the top right corner. Get that free $26 wash from Unrivaled. If you haven't done it yet, I don't know what you're doing. All right, go get the best car wash of your life. Also, going to
wash ever.
For sure. Head into Best Way, get your $100 off your new item. Tell them that we sent you. If anybody else would like to contribute to the show, we've added our email up at the top under our social media, spillintheville23@gmail.com. You can send us an email there and we can get something straightened out. But let's go ahead and talk to BJ.
Let's get right to it.
Black Lions.
Our guest this week is a Cardinal who embodies hard work and perseverance. He began his Cardinal career as a walk-on under the legendary Coach Crum and would later earn a scholarship for his junior and senior season. 1993 state champion in Indiana for the Jeffersonville High School. Please welcome BJ Flynn. BJ, thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate it, guys. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we appreciate Alvin Sims for hooking us up and getting us in contact. What do you remember from hanging out with Alvin on campus and just the first time we've talked about how much of an athletic freak he was? Is there any times you saw that guy and you're like, that guy is different?
Yeah, man. When I first got to U of L and I had to guard him, I was like, this dude is like a NFL tight end. I mean, he was like 6'4", like 230, and he was a guard. And man, in practices, he used to beat me up. I can tell you that. And I was like, this must be what high-level Division I basketball is about. And just by playing against him in practice and going against All-American DeJuan Wheat, man, it made me such a much a better player. And that's why I think I kept improving each year. And got pretty good my senior year. It's just going against those guys my entire career. But yeah, Alvin's great, man. He's a good old country boy from Paris, Kentucky. We hung around a lot and super athletic freak, like you said.
Yeah, we talked a little bit when he was on the show just about if he played football or anything, because that guy, like, he was built like a linebacker or something like that. But obviously, I'm from Indiana as well, right down the road in Corden, Indiana. And the one thing that everybody just looks at Indiana is the basketball. And so I know you growing up, you were on a stacked Jeffersonville High School team. What was that whole experience like going through high school for you?
Yeah, I mean, we had a stacked team. We had my junior year, we had 6 D1 signees on my team, and that's unheard of in public basketball, like for a public school.
For sure.
And we actually came up short and didn't win the state championship my junior year, which we had the most talent, but we got beat in the championship game and in overtime. But my senior year in '93, we came back. I think my senior year we had 4 Division I players and 2 D2 players on our squad, and we ended up winning the state championship. But playing against that type of competition in high school for me, it just helped me prepare myself for when I got to U of L. Right, I had to walk on. And that was fine. I had to prove myself, but I had already been through some competition that I was ready for, and that's what helped me earn the scholarships and get some playing time for sure.
So, BJ, you started your college career at Duquesne. How did you end up eventually playing under Coach Crum?
Okay, yeah, great question. Coming out of high school, I was kind of like. I was playing with a guy named Sharon Wilkerson. He was Indiana Mr. Basketball. He was McDonald's All-American. He was the other guard on my high school team, right? And I played guard. And we kind of had to share, scoring responsibilities, defensive responsibilities, and he was the more athletic person at that time, and was getting all the looks from the big schools. So I was kind of overshadowed by him, and I was getting looks at smaller Division I schools. I think University of Washington in the out west was the Pac-12 or Pac-10. Yeah, and
Pac-10, yeah, the Huskies. You talking about the Huskies, right? Yeah, okay.
And actually, it's kind of a funny story. Mark Pope was out there playing, and he was my player chaperone. At the time, but and Duquesne was the other school looking at me. So those were my only 2 options. I decided to go Duquesne because at that time they were playing the conference they were in. I think it was Atlantic 10, and they for some reason I think Xavier and Butler schools, that were in the Midwest here near where I was growing up, that's where they were playing against. So I decided to go there. And it just, I got homesick. I was a 6th man on that team as a freshman. I was playing a lot, but I just got homesick, and I just came home, and I was going to go play at Bellarmine, to be honest with you guys. We reached out to Coach Crum and the staff, and he said, we remember you from Jeffersonville. You can definitely come and walk on. If it's a preferred walk on. And that's all I had to hear, and that's what started it.
Can you kind of take me through that moment and feeling you had when Coach Crum offered you that scholarship? Just what type of feelings you had in starting your career as a walk-on?
Yeah, it was a lot of excitement. I grew up, huge. I followed IU basketball, U of L, and UK basketball my whole life. I was a big UK fan because my dad played at UK, and I just knowing I got the opportunity to play for my local home team was something that I just was going to cherish and take advantage of as much as I could. It was the competition levels stepped up. I was playing for a top 20 team at the time, and there was I was the walk on, so I had things to prove, right? I took advantage of it. I came in as my sophomore year, and the first game I was eligible was against UNLV, and Coach Crum played me 10 minutes that game, and I had 10 points in 10 minutes, and I'll never forget that.
Oh wow,
that's a good way to. That's a great way to start right there.
Great way to start the game.
It didn't last though, I wish I could say, thanks to that's my sophomore year. I was prone to make a lot of turnovers because I was getting adjusted to that kind of the college game at that level. I could score. That wasn't my problem. It was more just, being under control and not making so many turnovers. So my sophomore year, it kind of kept me. I played a lot, but I probably played half the game my sophomore year. That's what I averaged, but. I had to get adjusted to the game for sure.
Yeah. And you mentioned your dad playing at Kentucky, played for the legendary Joe B. Hall. Obviously, he's going to support you no matter what you do. But when you tell him, hey, Dad, I think I'm going to the University of Louisville, what was his whole reaction when you told him that?
Well, he was happy for me. He can come. I was playing local. He could come watch me practice, play in the games. He just wanted. He just wanted the best for me. Go somewhere where you're going to play and be happy more than anything. I didn't get recruited. Like I said, I didn't get recruited by. It was Rick Pitino was at Kentucky at the time. He was tearing it up with recruiting at Kentucky at that time. He had some loaded teams back in the middle '90s at Kentucky. But I wasn't disappointed. Actually my freshman year, I went to his basketball camp up in Lexington and was the MVP of the camp. And I didn't get a look, and I was, kind of heartbroken over that because I was a Kentucky fan at the time. But that's all changed now, man. That's yeah, man. It's all about let's beat the Cats, man. Now.
Yeah.
Do you credit that time when you went there and you probably thought like, okay, I just killed it here. I'm probably going to go play for the University of Kentucky. Did that put a chip on your shoulder when Coach Pitino didn't reach out or anything and just make you work twice as hard?
Yeah, it has. Yes, I would say so. Yeah, it had a lot to do with it. Playing with a chip on your shoulder and have something to prove makes you definitely a better player.
Kind of going back into your dad, how much did having a father who played college and professionally help shape your foundation as a player?
A lot. Just by working out with him, the advice he would give me and telling me what to expect and what I got to do to play at a high level. He had a lot to do with how I turned out for sure and what happened in my college career.
Yeah. Like my freshman year and my sophomore year, I spent a lot of time backing up Samardo Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
He was a McDonald's All-American. I mean, he was an ox straight out of Jamaica. I mean, he's about 265, 6'8", great hands.
Number one recruit in the country, wasn't he?
Yeah, number one recruit in the country. I was getting all that. Yeah, but he was tough. I played behind him, and we would go to war in practice. And I just remember just going into those practices and coming out, and I was just like, the next day I'm gonna get him. The next day I'm gonna get him. The next day I'm gonna get him. And eventually, I started taking over, and I started doing a lot better, and I started earning my minutes. You got to go out there. That's how you earn your minutes, is in practice. So you spent some time playing behind some guys, some legends, I should say, DeJuan Wheat, Alvin Sims. What was your mindset approaching and going into those games, and how'd you stay motivated?
What I think when I got to Louisville, I was, there was players like I was playing with. There was, you had Alvin Sims, you had DeJuan Wheat, you had Tick Rogers. Tick Rogers was a Kentucky Mr. Basketball. He was a good player, really good player. You also had Eric Johnson was there. A lot of Brian Kaiser kind of played a little 2 or 3 spot, 3 spot, and there's a lot of players that I had to figure out where's my niche going to be, where it's going to get me on the court and get some playing time. And what I found was I think it goes back to playing at Jeffersonville and having the great coaching I had in high school. Is I was an intelligent player, fundamentally sound, and hustle and taking charges and doing the stuff the dirty stuff the other players just weren't doing. And that's where I found my niche, and that's what got me playing time when I came to Louisville, was just doing that. I think I developed through my junior and then my senior year of more of a complete guard, where I could play the point or the two. I could shoot it. I could drive. I could kind of do it all. But in the beginning, it was all about just hustle, get me on the court with hustle. So.
Yeah, shoot. You look at people like you, like we've talked on our last episode, just how how important those people that just put their nose to the ground and are willing to fight through every game, no matter who they're going against. And just if their teammates see that fight, like if you're going in there, you might not be playing every single minute, but as soon as you get in there, if you're playing 10 minutes and you're playing those 10 minutes as hard as you possibly can, then, I mean, that just earns the respect of your teammates even twice as much.
Yeah, I totally agree. You got to, you become the spark plug, and you kind of inject some energy into the team. And, that's what, sure, I totally agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I'd say you were able to kind of get back on Coach Pitino, that 1995 game Kentucky came in. They were ranked 5th in the country. You had that big, I think it was like 2 possessions in a row. You split through half court, didn't get the and one first, and then you had that and one on Tony Delk. Jim Nance was on the call. I know you jumped into Samaki's arms right after that. Just how was that whole experience?
Oh, that was great. That was my first game playing against UK, and I wanted it bad, and we got the win. Unfortunately, the next 2 years we came up short, but we were playing probably the 96, 97 UK squad that arguably is probably top 10 best ever, right? So we did get the win there in 95. It was a great experience. I'll never forget it for sure, and get a little payback to Patino. Yeah,
for sure. So can you describe your feeling of playing in your first March Madness game? What was that feeling like for you, and how did it kind of change over time?
That had been in 1995. I think we came in as I want to say we were a 10 seed, and we had to play Memphis. Back then it was Memphis State, and we've already played them twice during the year. They were in our conference, so now we're playing them a third time. We split with them during the regular season. And we got beat in the first round we played terrible, and it put a bad taste in my mouth and my team's mouth. And then we came back in '96, and we made it to the Sweet 16 and got beat by Tim Duncan. But yeah, man, that's a great experience on it. Memories, and you can't beat that. You can't beat it, man. You've done it before, and it's just awesome.
I wasn't alive for that game, but I know my dad, every Louisville fan that was around talks about it. Tim Duncan walked right there, didn't he?
Yeah, I do believe he did. I do believe he did.
JB Creative, your trusted website designer and content creator, making your brand stand out from the rest. From web design and SEO to brand development for your business, JBC's got you covered. Let's go create.
Playing under Coach Crum, how much did he shape the person you are today? And are there any favorite memories that you look back on now?
What I loved about Coach Crum is, I played for other college coaches at Duquesne and my high school coach, and how they did things. Coach Crum was very laid back, and as long as you respected him, he respected you, and he kind of as long as you you got your grades, you showed up to practice on time, you just did the right things as a man. You could have all the freedom in the world. We didn't have curfews. Except for game nights, we had curfews. But he would let you just go be a college kid, and I'll never forget that. He was kind of a father figure as well, or you could go talk to him about anything, and you knew he wasn't going to get on you. He was going to give you good advice about what to do, and I think Coach Crum I think some players need it to get a kick in the ass, like what Patino could do to you and motivate you. But Coach Crum wasn't built like that. He just wasn't. He's a great college practice and game coach, X's and O's, one of the best I've ever seen. But as far as a motivator, putting your butt on the bench is probably the best thing he can do to motivate you. He's not going to get in your face and get on and scream at you or do anything like that. It's just not what he was about. But for me, the personality fit perfect. But like I said, some players came to Louisville and played for Coach Crum. They needed some kind of kick in the ass and some coach, kind of like a Bobby Knight or Rick Pitino, to get them going. And then that, playing for Coach Crum, that's not what he was going to do. But most people know that.
Yeah. So looking back on your Louisville college career, how do you hope fans remember your time as a Cardinal?
Just somebody who gave it his all, right? Helped the team succeed, and knew I played with a passion. I come to love the fans. and I still live here now in Louisville, and it's a highlight of my life. And I'll be a Louisville fan for life, and just appreciate all the support that they gave me. And it was a dream come true to play for the Louisville Cardinals.
Yeah. So, this is kind of off the cuff question. I just want to ask you, just coming in, who did you because we would have to bond. We would have to bond with our teammates. So who did you kind of connect with off the court? Like maybe go get food together, go hang out. Who was, and what did you kind of do? Like we would play video games, we'll compete. We're always competing against each other. Everything was a competition. So who was that, those kind of couple of guys that you hung out with and do stuff with?
Just wanted to take a second and give a big shout out to Best Way, home of the low price guarantee or it's free, where you can get all your home furnishing needs on a deal. They have everything from smart refrigerators, washer dryer sets, 86-inch TVs, PS5s, Xboxes, all the way to reclining living room suites and bedroom suites. Best Way offers so many ways to pay, from retail to rent to own and even financing through Lendmark. With 2 locations in Indiana, 1 in New Albany and 1 in Jeffersonville, and 5 locations in Kentucky: Radcliffe, Dixie Highway, Hikes Lane, Shelbyville, and Shepherdsville. Stop by today and tell them that we sent you to get $100 off your new item. Now let's get back to the show.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I hung out with them all. Different, I was friends with them all. We did different things. I didn't really have a best friend on the team. There was a party going on or something, we'd all be there together. So we were a pretty tight knit group. I hung out. I would say, if I had to pick one, I would say probably Alvin Sims. Yeah.
Okay. We talked about just how big of a melting pot the locker rooms were when Terrence was there. Like he would have Russ from New York. You had Terrence obviously from California and Van Treese from Indiana. Just how different were the personalities inside your guys' locker room?
Oh yeah, totally different. We had people, from California, Texas, Chicago. I can't remember. And we had a lot of players. They were local. They were from Kentucky and Indiana, right? That were on our team as well. So you get on the court together and practice, and you kind of like form a relationship. It doesn't matter what background you came from or anything. The ultimate goal was to get better and win games, right? And so that's what we kind of focused on.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about basketball right there, or any sport in general, is you might be somebody from all around the world, Africa, you could be from California, but when you get on that court, you get in that locker room, everybody's working towards that one common goal. You might believe 2 separate, complete different things, but you guys, for that whole time you're together, you're working for that main goal that entire time. So that's personally what I love about the locker room and sports most, for sure. Yeah, definitely. No doubt. The relationships that you build, friendships, man, that's and to this day, you still have them, and it's unbelievable.
After your basketball career, you had an incredible career in medical sales. So when did that become your passion of yours, and do you still ever get that like itch to play? Because I still do. I still try to keep in shape. We still play 5-on-5. I get up with the fellas. Hey, my knees don't work how they used to, but I still try to get out there and. I can maybe do 2 dunks instead of 10 dunks in the game. So
yeah,
you still kind of get out there just to get that cardio up, get out there with the fellas just to do that bonding.
Well, I can speak my age. I'm 51, and I was playing.
51?
I'm 51.
Hey.
Yeah.
I look like you. Jeez.
I played competitively in men's leagues around here, probably up until 4 years ago. And then it just your body breaks down, and it's like, do I want to wake up and go to work the next day with just aching? So finally, you got to figure out, well, maybe I better find a 50 and over age league to get into, right? So I've settled down and don't play as much as I used to. I miss it, trust me. Mm-hmm. But I try to do exercise a different way. I play tennis, lift little weights. stuff like that. It's easier on my back and joints and everything. But I get what you're saying, Terrence, for sure. I was going to ask you how come you didn't join the TBT team, man? I thought you could have helped them.
Oh man, we're looking for next year, but I would have probably been the oldest. Because even Peyton was the oldest. So
yeah, Peyton was the oldest.
Peyton?
I'm older than Peyton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
it
right.
might be by a couple of years. So, I mean, if anything, next year I'll be there as moral support. I'm not going defense and all that, but yeah, probably. They look like they had it locked down. They had Montrez out there. They had all those NBA guys, but just me. Hey, I'm always ready to go. I'm ready to lace them up. Shoot, put me out there. Hey, suit me up, coach. I'm ready to go.
All right. All
Let's
right.
get it.
I hear you. Okay.
Did you get to go out to any of the TBT games this year, or have you gone any in the year prior?
Yeah, I have. I did go prior, and I went this year. I was a little disappointed in what happened. I feel like that they didn't give the same type of energy as the other team did. I sat right behind the bench, and I felt I'll be honest with you, there wasn't any. The chemistry was not good on that team. I don't know what. I think Luke did a good job with coaching and everything, but I think that those guys just didn't have a chemistry, and you could see, and the other team did, man. And it's disappointing when you have way more talent than the team and get beat.
Yeah, and that's how. I mean, I remember us winning games. It's like we're all good out here, but what made us better is that we can all play together and sacrifice for the betterment of the team. Guys going to sacrifice their bodies, put their egos to the side, and we actually like each other. We love each other, and it's 10 players out there, it's one ball out there. So somebody has to, give a little and give a little. So we'll see. We'll see about next year. But I would have told everybody, like, hey, bro, we're playing for $1 million. We need to figure this out. What do we have to do? So
yeah,
that's how it goes, and hopefully we can get it together next year.
Yeah, hopefully. I think we
did you get to get out to the last year, not this past year, but the one before, where we played Kentucky, and just that whole environment at Freedom Hall? What was that whole environment like? You were there at the Apex when that place was packed out. We brought it back. How was that whole feeling for you?
Yeah, I was at I did go to that game, bigger reference, and it did feel like old Freedom Hall, and and it did bring back memories for sure. We didn't get the W, but just experiencing the excitement and what Freedom Hall was like compared to the Yum, right? It's a different experience, and for people that don't know and get to see it, I mean, it's something special.
Yeah, for sure. And you said you still live around in the area. How much are you keeping up to Louisville today? Do you ever go back and watch any practices? Just what do you think about the whole squad coming up this year?
Oh man, the squad's loaded. Most talent that we've had, maybe ever. Be honest with you, we'll see what happens when they get out on the court. The chemistry's there, but Coach Kelsey's a hell of a recruiter. He's a player's coach. I've spoken to him a couple of times, and he knows, he understands what Louisville basketball is about, the tradition, and he's proud to, he's humble, right, to be here. And I think the future is very bright. And I think if we're not a Final Four, we don't go to Final Four this year. In my opinion, it's a letdown.
That's when we talked to Larry O'Bannon. He said that he thinks this is the most talented. It could be better than the team he was on shooting wise. Like this team just has so many shooters. How difficult is it from a coaching perspective to have to prepare for this many shooters on a court?
It's very difficult, and especially if you have a 4 and 5 that can hit the 3 on top of it, which I think we do. Makes it really difficult. But I think we have players on this team that can not only shoot, but they can also take it to the hole. They're all athletic enough to go to the hole with the ball and everything. And with the pieces that he's got in place, we could go 10 or 11 deep each game, and most teams can't do that. So that's where our advantages are. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
Going back on Freedom Hall, I believe we're actually playing Cincinnati in Freedom Hall again. What's your whole? Do you think we should have just left that at the Syracuse game with the cherry on top? Or are you glad we're bringing back a Freedom Hall game, a sense of nostalgia? What's your whole feeling on that?
Oh yeah, I'm glad. Oh, I'm glad about it. Let the fans who did come to the games back in the days where we played at Freedom Hall to experience that again, because it's fun to go back in history sometimes and relive things and get a new experience a new atmosphere, and just for the new players playing right now. Yeah, they're playing in the Taj Mahal, the Yum Center of college basketball, but let's see what the history was of Louisville basketball and what it felt like to play in Freedom Hall. Because if you look back at Freedom Hall, at one time it was in one of the nicest places in the country to play. Hosted 6 Final Fours in its career. But yeah, I'm glad they're doing it now. Playing up in Cincinnati at their arenas that they have there are not good. I can say that. He knows what I'm saying.
Hey man, the architecture ain't. I don't know. It's like we high up here, we low down here. I just want them to. But hey, shout out Cincinnati. We love y'all. But hey, y'all gotta get that arena together. We don't know what's going on. Get that structural together.
Mm-hmm.
For sure,
definitely.
I did have a couple of rapid fire questions I wanted to get off real quick. Just a few. It's fun, lighthearted. Name me your favorite pregame meal. So the meal that you would typically eat before the game.
Well, I don't know if Alvin Sims told y'all this, but Coach Crum wanted us to eat. He had steak, green beans, baked potatoes, pancakes, and spaghetti. And we could just choose whatever he wanted, but that's what he wanted us to eat before. I saw my favorite. I ate a little steak with some spaghetti. Get a little carbohydrate and protein. That's what I usually did.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like the right meal. Definitely a lot of carbs because you're gonna burn all those off during the game. But definitely you got to give yourself adequate enough time of eating that heavy meal just so you don't go out there too heavy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite NBA player growing up?
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
Oh, yeah. Larry Bird. Just because he's from I'm from Indiana. He's an Indiana boy, and I just love the way he played. He played with tenacity and nastiness and could shoot the hell out of it. And I just grew up being a huge Boston Celtics fan for a while, and Pacers.
Did he ever come up and play? I heard stories about when he came and played Cardinal and how he just absolutely torched us alive. Did you ever hear any? Did he come up and play Jeff at all? And did you ever hear any Larry stories?
No, I'm trying to think. I know Larry wanted. Larry Bird wanted to go to Kentucky. I do know that. Joby Hall didn't think he was good enough. Joby thought he had better recruited players coming in than him, and didn't offer him a scholarship. And I know Coach Crum went up there to recruit him, and Larry didn't want to come to U of L. And Coach Crum told him that he'll play him a game of horse, and if Coach Crum wins, that he has to come to Louisville for a visit. And Coach Crum told us that he's been undefeated in horse for the past 10 years at that time. And so he thought he was going to beat Larry, and Larry would come for a visit, but Larry beat him. So it never happened, right? We never got him to Louisville for the visit, and he ended up going to IU. Of course, that didn't work out, but that's kind of the only stories I know that about Larry. But y'all might have heard those before.
Oh no, I've never heard that one. That's a great one for sure.
Oh really? Okay.
No, I've never heard that one.
Yeah. So Coach Crum, this is, he said he was undefeated in horse for 10 straight years, and then he thought he was just going to beat Larry, and that's not what happened.
Oh, if only he would have known what he was getting into, what Larry would have turned into 20 years later. It's like, maybe I don't challenge that guy to a competition of horse.
I mean, he's shooting the ball behind the backboard, fade away, and all.
Left-handed.
It's in the left-handed. It's in the game, so it's like, what do you expect?
Right.
I mean, but yeah, we'll end it on that note. You got anything, Blake?
No, that's it. Is there anything else you'd like to plug or shout out before we go?
No, not really. I just appreciate y'all reaching out to me and getting to relive old memories and everything. And just want to say, I'll say shout out to my old teammates who might be listening on here, and all the other Cardinal alumni.